Okay, now we're going into the tools in data analysis. Now we are moving gradually into practical aspects of data analysis. These tools, basically, I want us to understand them. Then in the next class, we'll be going into getting to understand the interface for the tools, their primary function, apart from getting to know them. So we'll be picking those tools one after the other, and then we are going to use them to do different things on analysis, visualization, analyzing, sorting problems, and all like that. So although some of these tools can actually do two or more things, basically, you get. So I'll explain. Now the first tool I want us to have at heart is Microsoft Excel. Then Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet to use to enter data, manipulate, and do some basic analysis, and also visualization. I told you Excel is like spreadsheets too, basically. So they look alike. They look alike. But if you understand Excel, you can actually use spreadsheet, Google Sheets very well, because the two are spreadsheets. So the common function that I use there is sum, average, counties, VLOOKUP, if. Now note, these are the common functions. Excel is so deep now that you can use trim, count if, a lot of functions now. So it is how updated you are. That is how you can use Excel now. Excel is so deep, so nice, and so big now. Then we have pivot tables. Yeah, that is the aspect of summarizing your data, where you're going to be combining different values. Then you use, don't worry, you get to understand those ones. Then we use Excel for charts and graph, for pie chart, bar chart. Those are visualization, so that you can communicate well, because most of the time people you are communicating with, they don't understand the basics of the data. What they want to see is results. So we are going to be using this format of visualization, pie chart, line chart, to explain your insights to people. Now we have conditional formatting, where you highlight a database based on some conditions. If Shade is between the age of 18 and 19, say yes, and it will give you yes. That is part of analysis. When we get there, we'll get more understanding. Now the other two is SQL. That's SQL. It's called structured query language. I think I mentioned it before, structured query language. And the purpose of this is a language. It's a language used to query and manage data in a relational database. I told you that there are some relational database that when you are given in your companies, they just give you to fetch the data you need. They will not give you the whole data set to work on it on Excel. You fetch what you need, you analyze, you give them back the results. The data still there, because it's so large, it's so big. So they have a database. So we need to study on SQL. So we'll be using MySQL basically, and then in that place we'll be writing queries. We call it queries. Queries is just like a language where you will use to actually bring out your results. You will command them to come. So nice. SQL is so nice, just as if you're writing English language. So the common functions are selecting, joining, group by, where, order by, insert, update, delete, remove. They are more than this. But the more you practice, the more you solve problem, the more you get acquainted to all these languages, all these functions. So select, use it to retrieve data, join to combine, group by. I told you the other time that sometimes like that you have data that you have data set like that your needed information are on different sheets. You have to join them, and some you have to group them using, and you condition them using where, order by. So when we get there, you get to understand. So let's move on. Yes, the next tool I'll be introducing to us is Power BI. Power BI. Okay, basically Power BI is a business intelligence tool used to create interactive dashboard reports and visualization. Now you can use Excel for visualization. We can use Power BI for visualization. Yeah, we can use Python too for visualization actually. But the major role of Power BI is for interactive dashboard. You can do interactive dashboard on Excel too. Don't worry, as you go into the journey, you understand better. But basically, the major function of Power BI is to have an interactive dashboard report. It's just as if you are bringing all your data set and you are trying to explain to people using charts. We'll get to get the understanding about that. Then the common features of Power BI, we have DAX, that's data analysis expression where you use it for calculation. In Power BI, we have Power Query. Power Query is very important. We use Power Query for cleaning, for transformation, for shaping, loading into Power BI, loading data into Power BI. Then we use it for visualization. Then we use it for reports, to update reports. The visualization can be bar chart, pie chart, map, different type of visualization. Power BI is the power of the mind. The more you can use your mind, you can do virtually everything on Power BI. Just like Excel too, it is dependent on the heart. Then the SQL, SQL basically just use to fetch your data like that, bring the data you need, then you can bring it to Power BI. Now let's go to the next one. The tool we are going to be learning also is Python. Python is a general purpose programming language widely used for data analysis. Yes. Then it is used for machine learning and automations. Now, the truth be told, as a data analyst, when you understand Excel well, you can use Excel for your cleaning and all visualize. When you understand SQL is basically used for specific. You use it at specific time, especially if you are dealing with database. Power BI, it is majorly used for visualization. That doesn't mean we can't clean in Power BI. In SQL too, you clean in SQL too. You get, but you are going to be using query. Power BI, the major role is for dashboard, but you can do other things on Power BI. Then Python, basically, that one is a programming language, basically. Although some people, apart from Python, some people use this program R. If you can run Python, you can run R, but it has specific language. Just as if we have in Yoruba land, we still have different Yoruba language in Yoruba land. You understand? So that's that on that. Then so we have to understand all this. So these are the tools we are going to be using. In Python now we have the common libraries. We are going to be using pandas for data manipulation, analysis, data frame, NumPy for numerical operations. Then we are going to be using matplotlib for visualization, Seaborn. All these ones you are going to be using them. You are going to code them. You import them into Python using Jupyter notebooks. You get to understand. Then skitlearn from machine learning algorithm. The start model. This one is basically used for statistical model and hypothesis testing. So when we get to Python, we get to understand that we might not be using Python for too much things, but for analysis basically, because we have other aspects of Python that can be used for different things, machine learning and all. I hope you have learned something in this class. I know you have learned something in this class. By next class, trust me, next class, basically we are going into practicals, and we're going to be talking about the first two, basically Excel, to learn the interface, to learn how to do all the processes, the cleaning process. You get, so everything we are going to be going through into all these tools. So we are going to be picking the tools one after the other, and we are going to be diving into the world of data analysis. Thank you for coming for this class. We'll be seeing you in the next class. Don't forget to do revision on what we have studied. So by next class, we are going into practicals of getting to know our tools. Now we know our tools, the ones we are going to be using for analysis. Now we want to know each of those tools. So we are going to be starting with Excel next class, getting to know the interface, the function, how we can use it for our basic cleaning for the processes, how you can actually do the collection of data, do the cleaning of data, prepare them, analyze, then use them for dashboard to create a report like that. So when we are done with that, we move into the next two, and then the next two, and then the next two. In this journey, make sure you don't miss any of the video. See you in the next class.